Welcome back to AI Reviews. Like always, I am your host, Lee. Today we are having an AI review Kraven the Hunter 4 times, ranging from loving it to hating it. I don't really know what should think about this movie. The Sony villainverse hasn't really gone well so far. But let's see what the AI thinks.
Kraven the Hunter, released on December 13, 2024, is a cinematic triumph that masterfully expands Sony's Spider-Man universe, SSU. Directed by J.C. Shander and starring Aaron Taylor Johnson as Sergei Kravenov, this film not only explores the depth of one of Spider-Man's most iconic adversaries, but also sets a new standard for character-driven storytelling within the superhero genre. As a longtime Spider-Man fan, I found Kraven the Hunter to be a refreshing and thrilling experience that earns a well-deserved 4 stars. Aaron Taylor Johnson delivers a powerhouse performance as Kraven, embodying the complex essence of a man torn between his primal instincts and the desire for redemption. His portrayal reveals layers of Kraven's character that have been largely unexplored in previous adaptations. Taylor Johnson captures the intensity and vulnerability of Kraven with such precision that you can't help but empathize with him, even as his actions spiral into darker territories. The film's narrative is both compelling and innovative, focusing on Kraven's journey from a renowned big-game hunter to his emergence as a formidable figure in the criminal underworld. This origin story is beautifully crafted, offering audiences a look into Kraven's psychological and emotional turmoil. The screenplay, penned by Richard Wenk, weaves a rich tapestry of themes including honor, family, and survival, which resonate deeply throughout the movie, elevating it beyond typical superhero fare. Director J.C. Shander's vision for the film is executed with meticulous attention to detail. The cinematography is stunning, capturing the raw beauty and brutality of Kraven's world, from the lush landscapes of the savannah to the gritty streets of New York City. Each scene is shot in a way that enhances the storytelling, drawing viewers deeper into Kraven's complex psyche and the dramatic intensity of his quest. The supporting cast also delivers exceptional performances. Each character is well developed, providing meaningful contributions to the narrative and adding layers to the film's exploration of morality and human nature. The dynamics between the characters are portrayed with a realism that is often missing in superhero movies, adding a palpable tension and richness to the overall experience. What sets Kraven the Hunter apart is its daring approach to explore the moral ambiguities of its central character. The film does not shy away from the darker aspects of Kraven's persona, yet it manages to present them in a way that is thoughtful and provocative. This exploration makes the film not only a thrilling adventure, but also a profound psychological study. The soundtrack, composed by a renowned music director, perfectly complements the film's tone, with themes that range from hauntingly beautiful to intensely thrilling. It underscores the emotional and physical journey of Kraven, enhancing key moments and enriching the viewer's experience. In conclusion, Kraven the Hunter is a standout film that successfully redefines what a superhero movie can be. It is a deep, engaging, and visually spectacular piece of cinema that respects its source material while daring to explore new ground. For its compelling narrative, outstanding performances, and impeccable direction, I give Kraven the Hunter a perfect 4 stars. It's a must-watch for not only Spider-Man fans but anyone who appreciates a well-told story with depth and heart.
Kraven the Hunter, released on December 13, 2024, marks a bold entry into Sony's Spider-Man universe, SSU. Directed by J.C. Shander and starring Aaron Taylor Johnson as the titular character. This film delves into the origins and complexities of one of Spider-Man's most formidable foes. While the movie excels in many areas, including performance and visuals, there is a critical aspect that falls short, leading me to give it a solid 3 to 4 stars. Aaron Taylor Johnson's portrayal of Kraven is undoubtedly the film's strongest element. He brings a nuanced depth to Sergei Kravenov, capturing the character's internal conflict and fierce determination with compelling intensity. Taylor Johnson's Kraven is not just a villain. He's a man driven by a deep sense of honor and a desperate desire to prove his worth in a world that often misunderstands him. His performance is both powerful and empathetic, making Kraven more than just a typical antagonist. The narrative crafted by screenwriter Richard Wenk provides a fresh perspective on Kraven's backstory, presenting his journey from a world-renowned hunter to a tormented soul seeking redemption. The story effectively explores themes of identity, redemption, and the primal instincts that drive us. The film's pacing is generally well managed, maintaining tension and interest as Kraven's story unfolds across the diverse landscapes from the African savanna to the bustling streets of New York City. Visually, the film is stunning. Director J.C. Shander and his cinematography team create a visually arresting tableau that beautifully captures the contrast between the wild and the urban environments that define Kraven's world. The action sequences are choreographed with precision, using the settings effectively to enhance the film's dramatic impact. However, where Kraven the Hunter falls short is in its development of secondary characters. The supporting cast, while talented, is given little room to grow, with many characters feeling underdeveloped and underutilized. This lack of depth in the supporting roles detracts from the overall narrative, as it fails to fully explore the relationships that could have added more complexity to the story. This oversight makes some of the interactions feel superficial, preventing the film from achieving the emotional resonance that could have elevated it to greater heights. Additionally, while the film's thematic exploration is ambitious, it occasionally veers into overt moralizing, which can feel heavy-handed. The philosophical questions posed are compelling but are sometimes presented in a way that feels more like a lecture than a natural part of the narrative flow. This can disrupt the viewer's immersion and diminish the subtlety of the film's moral and ethical inquiries. In conclusion, Kraven the Hunter is a commendable effort that provides a compelling look at one of the Marvel Universe's most intriguing characters. Aaron Taylor Johnson's standout performance and the film's impressive visuals make it a worthwhile watch. However, the lack of depth in the supporting characters and occasional heavy-handedness in theme treatment prevent it from being truly exceptional. For its strengths and despite its flaws, I give Kraven the Hunter a well-deserved 3 to 4 stars.
Kraven the Hunter, which premiered on December 13, 2024, is a film that ambitiously attempts to delve into the backstory of one of Spider-Man's most iconic adversaries. Directed by J.C. Shander and starring Aaron Taylor Johnson as Sergei Kravenov, the film aims to provide a nuanced portrait of the titular character, exploring his transformation from a renowned hunter to a tormented antagonist within Sony's Spider-Man universe, SSU. Despite its lofty ambitions and a strong central performance, the film ultimately struggles with execution in several key areas, leading me to give it a middling 2 out of 4 stars. Aaron Taylor Johnson's portrayal of Kraven is a highlight, bringing intensity and depth to the role. His performance adeptly captures the complex nature of Kraven, imbuing him with a sense of tragic nobility that aligns with the character's rich comic book history. However, Taylor Johnson's stellar performance is not enough to carry the weight of the film's flawed narrative structure and pacing. The narrative attempts to paint a detailed picture of Kraven's motives and his philosophical battles, exploring themes of nature versus civilization and what it means to be a hunter in a world that no longer values the primal laws of the wilderness. However, these themes are often handled clumsily, with the script failing to integrate them smoothly into the storyline. As a result, the film frequently feels like it is telling rather than showing, with expository dialogue taking the place of genuine character development. Visually, the film is uneven. While there are moments of striking cinematography that beautifully capture the wild landscapes that define Kraven's early life, these scenes contrast sharply with less convincing sequences set in urban environments. The action scenes, intended to be a major draw for the film, are often chaotic and confusingly edited, lacking the clarity and impact necessary to make them truly memorable. The supporting cast is underutilized, with many characters feeling like mere afterthoughts rather than integral parts of the story. This lack of development extends to the film's antagonist roles, which are not given enough screen time or backstory to make their conflicts with Kraven meaningful or engaging. The relationships that could have added layers of complexity to the film are instead superficial, and the interactions often feel forced and lacking in genuine emotional stakes. Moreover, the film's pacing is problematic, with a slow first half that struggles to build momentum. The second half rushes through significant plot developments, leaving the audience with little time to absorb the stakes or understand the transformations within Kraven's character. This uneven pacing makes the film feel longer than its runtime and diminishes the impact of its climactic scenes. In conclusion, while Kraven the Hunter features a commendable performance by Aaron Taylor Johnson and has moments of visual and thematic promise,
it ultimately fails to deliver a cohesive and compelling narrative experience. The film struggles with pacing, character development, and a coherent execution of its central themes, resulting in a viewing experience that is as frustrating as it is unsatisfying. For its potential and occasional strengths, but more prevalent weaknesses, I give Kraven the Hunter a 2 out of 4 stars.
If you're expecting Kraven the Hunter, released on December 13, 2024, to honor the legendary comic arc Kraven's Last Hunt, prepare for monumental disappointment. This film, helmed by J.C. Shander and starring Aaron Taylor Johnson as Kraven, is a catastrophic misfire that not only fails to capture the essence of one of the greatest Spider-Man stories ever told but also manages to butcher the character of Kraven beyond recognition. For this travesty, I can dole out nothing more than a begrudging 1/4 stars. Let's start with what's on offer. Aaron Taylor Johnson, a capable actor, is grossly misused in this role, delivering a performance that is as uninspired as the script he's been given. Instead of the complex, formidable hunter with a deep moral and existential quandary, we get a flat, one-dimensional caricature swinging wildly between rage and melodrama. This Kraven is a shadow of the character envisioned in Kraven's Last Hunt, lacking any of the psychological depth or intensity that defined him in the comics. The plot is a mess, aimlessly wandering through a supposed origin story that feels more like a series of disconnected set pieces than a coherent narrative. The film attempts to introduce themes of nature versus civilization and the essence of hunting, but these are handled with such heavy-handedness that any potential subtlety is obliterated. Instead of a thoughtful exploration of Kraven's character and his motivations, we're treated to overblown action sequences that miss the emotional mark by a wide margin. Visually, the film doesn't fare much better. While there are a few competent shots of the wilderness that echo Kraven's affinity with the natural world, these are overshadowed by the generally lackluster cinematography and unimaginative direction. The urban scenes are particularly jarring, blending into the sea of generic superhero movie backdrops that do nothing to enhance the story or deepen the character's journey. The supporting cast, much like Kraven himself, is underdeveloped and underwhelming. Characters come and go with little impact, serving more as plot devices than actual people with whom Kraven interacts. The relationships that should add layers to the narrative are instead brushed aside, leaving a gaping hole where the emotional and philosophical stakes should be. Moreover, the action, a crucial element in any superhero film, is unremarkable and forgettable. The fight scenes lack creativity and the visceral impact necessary to make them stand out. They feel like obligatory inclusions rather than integral parts of the story, failing to either advance the plot or develop the character. In conclusion, Kraven the Hunter is an utter failure that not only fails to live up to Kraven's Last Hunt but also fails as a standalone film. It squanders a golden opportunity to delve into one of the most complex villains in the Spider-Man universe, opting instead for a shallow, uninspiring portrayal that lacks both heart and depth. For its failure to capture the spirit of Kraven and its numerous cinematic flaws, I give this film a dismal 1/4 stars. It's a stark reminder that some comic stories are best left on the page.
Like always, if you made this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. I typically have at least 2 videos out per week, either AI reviews like this one or real reviews if release schedules line up.